you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here and I'm back with another video. And before I start today's video, I just want to give a big shout out to my new subscribers and my remaining ones. Thank you so much. Your girl is almost at 500 subscribers. Hey! So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Nisi and I do reactions. Come and join the family and subscribe. Duh! But yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the hot Coachella. Coachella 2025 has been a disaster. People have been running to TikTok to share their experiences. So yeah, I'm gonna roll the news clip and then I'll be back with my commentary.
This was the most unorganized, understaffed, logistical nightmare, period, ever.
This morning, Coachella, the massive multi-weekend desert music festival with headliners like Lady Gaga, Travis Scott, and Post Malone, is off to a rough start. Attendees flocking to social media.
13 hours later, we're still not in line.
I've seen people pass out through heat exhaustion. It's just chaos. We've been here personally since 3 a.m. and this is crazy. It's literally almost 11.
Drivers bumper to bumper along the highway to enter the festival. Some stuck in traffic for up to 12 hours. And with temperatures in the high 90s, lack of water, and few restrooms, attendees are fed up.
We paid
Coachella, it literal hell. If you chose not to go, congrats, you officially avoided all this disasters. You didn't have to sit in car lines for 12 hours to get into the campgrounds and crap in the shrubs like feral animals. You didn't camp in 101-degree weather and have to wait hours in line every single day just to take like a 5-minute shower. You didn't have to crash in your tent after a full day on your feet just to get no sleep thanks to non-stop 4 a.m. music drops. You didn't have to suffer through overpriced food that somehow still doesn't taste that good, such as spending $60 on 2 burritos and 2 drinks, or $12 to $13 for an iced coffee. If you say you'd never camp at Coachella, better check if your bank account can handle a $2,000 a night Airbnb. Yeah, there's one more way to get in, but I'm not sure you'd be down for that. This is the side of Coachella that nobody talks about. Some men are getting mansions, all the hoses popping out, and they're like horny rabbits that weekend. Like all y'all see on social media is your favorite influencers and all that, and brands turning up at the festival. But let's not forget one thing, they're rich enough to pull it off. If you couldn't afford Coachella or skipped it this year, hopefully all of this makes you feel a little lucky.
Listen, I hate the queue. It's the queuing for me, and because it's so hot, like literally people have been cooking. It's in the desert, so you already know, and then at night it gets really cold. That's what I can't take about the desert. Like, pick one. You can't be hot during the day and then freezing cold at night, because then it's like, what do people like? What should we wear? And obviously, because you want to have a good time, you don't want to be carrying too much if you're camping and things like that. It's like the festivals over here, because it rains a lot. You have to wear wellies. You have to bring an umbrella, the raincoat. Like, it's just a lot. But then the sun in the middle of the concert or the festival, the sun could come out, so then you've got to bring your sunglasses, your bucket hat. Like, it's too much. But that's crazy. Yeah, there's been snakes just running in and out. Like, it's in the middle of the desert, obviously, so we're actually stepping on their territory. There's been really bad road rage, people pushing in. Trying to think, like, there's just so much that's happened. It's just been really like unorganized. People are set up tent and then securities come over to them and be like, no, you can't camp here. And it's just like, but there's no signs, you know what I mean? Like, it's been crazy this year. Please tell me, guys. So first of all, I did hear about Coachella, but it's not as big as it was like back in the day. Since Beyonce, you know, made it the whole B Coachella, it's not been the same. But I didn't know who was headlining. My sister was filling me in because when Missy Elliott performed, the audience was so dead. And even like a lot of UK people have been comparing UK audience to American. Like, listen, the people that go to Coachella, it's all about being an influencer. It's all about taking pictures, being the it girl. You know, it's all about the outfit, the hair, what you're eating, how's your tent. But people are still staying in these like mini villas, hotel. You know what I mean? It looks like really good. Like, this is not the Coachella of yesteryears. But yeah, so it was Lady Gaga, Post Malone, and Travis Scott. They were like the big three. Can someone please tell me why Travis Scott is there? Like, I know y'all remember the last big disaster that he was involved in at his concert. I'm sure he's not paid all those lawsuits that he had against him. Like, I'm sorry, that whole thing was a whole sacrifice, but I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. That's for another video for another day. Shout out to the South African artist Tyler. She performed and she was, rocking out doing her thing. I'm so proud of her. She's come a long way, and for her to, be performing at Coachella, that's a big, you know what I mean. So shout out to her. Megan Thee Stallion, Sierra, they were doing their thing. Megan Thee Stallion, she also brought out Queen Latifah. That was a moment, you know what I mean. Old school rap versus, new school, like them coming together and performing. That was amazing. Obviously this is week one. There's more to come. There's more obviously artists, but yeah, again, they're saying it's competition. It's like the rich versus the poor, which is nothing new. That's like everyday life. But how much they're charging for the simple things like food, drinks, it's just like, hello, there's a cost of living. Like just the tickets alone, you know what I mean? It's really expensive to get in. It's like £1,000 upwards for tickets. Obviously, that's like just your standards, and then it goes up. People have bought like camping tents or like sections what cost like £10,000 per night, not 10,000 a week, or you know what I mean. Obviously, there's Airbnbs that are crazy. Everything's per night. There's certain posh like exclusive restaurants you have to pre-book it, so you can't just they don't take walk-ins. It's just giving Hollywood, but in the desert. It's just like, this is not Coachella. Like, when you think of festivals, you're meant to get dirty, and obviously people are complaining about the showers and toilets. Like, even some have had to do it in bushes because there's not enough toilets. Listen, when it comes to festivals, that's it, innit? Like, you're not gonna shower good. You're not gonna like be able to go toilet. You're gonna have no privacy because someone's watching. You know what I mean? And I didn't know about this about Coachella, but people have been. I know in festivals people get down, but people are giving their stories, and there's guys renting out spots, and then all the hoes and all the girls are just going there to. Okay, like, do you, boo boo? I'm not mad, but just be safe. You know what I mean? Everyone's grown. You know what I mean? I hope no one gets hurt. But yeah, overall, it's just been a hot mess. So let's get into some people's reactions.
Camping safari area. People bring their inflatable pools and fill them up, and it's really cute, and decorate their tents. The bathrooms are right there, and then these are the showers. I'm gonna show you guys the walk to our tent from the bathrooms. So ours is around that way. I'm gonna go this way because these are really cute. Look at this one. They decorated, they're so cute.
They're set up. That's our shower. That's our door. Ooh, I have SZA over here since I love SZA. That like is like kind of another door, but we don't really go through that. Trash can, grill, Logan. Table, snacks, water for our showers, ice chest.
Them people at Coachella said they got to the camping grounds at 3 a.m. and we're still waiting in line to get into said camping ground at 1 p.m. 10 hours to be let into outside? And then they said they paid $600 to camp there, outside, on the free land, the land that is free. Excuse me? $600 to be outside, and the kicker is that it's over 100 degrees. So not only did you wait in your car for 10 hours to be let in, paid $600 to be outside on the free land, but now when you get in there, you about to fry like some eggs. Done over easy. Is y'all cool for real? I'm not waiting in line for 10 hours to see nobody at the concert. I'm not paying $600 to camp outside to see anyone in concert. Is Jesus going to be there? Because that's what it's given. Is Jesus coming back? I don't even know why I asked y'all if y'all was cool for real, because ain't no way. I already know y'all ain't cool, because this is the...
Oh, guys, I swear I love being black. The way he was reading and was like, are y'all cool? Like, make this make sense. First of all, he hit me with the Jesus, like, The only time I'll be doing all this queuing and all this, paying all this money, at the end, Jesus Christ better be at the end. Like, tell me about it. Like, listen, I love to travel, but the thing I hate is, the whole security, airports, the whole wait. If I could just skip all that, like, I hate it. Listen, in this life, I feel like I get what he's saying. First of all, let me clock his tea. So what he was saying, that people were waiting 10 hours, people were driving from 3 a.m. and couldn't get in until, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, huh? He made me laugh when he was like, people are queuing to get in from outside to go back outside. Like, however, the wordplay, however he said it, it was just like, wait, what? Y'all are paying 600 to go outside to the free land? America's always shouting the land of the free. Huh? It's not even free, like, it's desert. Like, it's not even like nice, like, it's the desert. Like, huh? But yeah, everything he said was on point. He was making me laugh. And he told no lies, like, no ma'am, it definitely ain't gonna be me. And I hope people had their sun protection on, because yes, like you said, y'all are gonna fry like eggs. People were fainting, people had heat stroke, and I'm that type of person. When I overheat, I pass out, I faint. So I therefore have to have, the fans, the AC. I have to go all out and have the nice tent, because I'm not trying to be dropping down. You know what I mean? Not me coming all the way from cold England to go to LA to drop down. Like, no. But I love his response, and everything he said was on point.
The side of Coachella that nobody talks about, like the fact that it's like one of the biggest SEX weekends in the industry in Hollywood. Like, all y'all see on social media is your favorite influencers and all that, and brands turning up at the festival, but nobody talks about what is happening on the other side of Coachella. How men are getting mansions, all the hoes is popping out, and it's like rabbits that weekend. Everybody turns into horny rabbits that weekend. Like, everybody knows that. And that is why I refuse to go to Coachella unless it's with a brand. Because if you just go to Coachella just to go to Coachella, the perception of that,
She made some good points, but again, she said, there's guys that go there with money. They obviously go to turn up, take and drink, and obviously, listen, everyone, as long as everyone gets consent, do what you're doing, and people are gonna have fun. It's like, the same what we do in Miami stays in Miami. You know what I mean? It's all them kind of YOLO slogans there, but again, it's to be expected with festivals. It's like when lads go on holiday, like, they're gonna, you know what I mean? But I didn't know Coachella was that bad, that people are. It's just like, you can't even shower properly or go to the toilet properly, but people have got time to. But like she said, certain girls, you have to give them the side eye. It's like the girls that get flued out to Dubai. Like, yeah, I know what you're doing. Do you? It's your life, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You're on the gram and you're like, it's like, yeah, I know what you're going to be getting up to later. She made me laugh with her response. But hey, people are going to do what they're going to do. But just be careful, be safe about it, and have a good time.
Here's what it was like to stay in the safari tents at Coachella. And before you say it, yes, it is expensive. It costs a minimum of $10,000 depending on if you do 2 or 4 people for this full experience. And no, this was not sponsored. We are very grateful and privileged that we were able to afford this. And we split the cost between 4 of us. And no, this isn't daddy's money. We own and run 3 businesses. So we're going to break down what this includes. We'll let you know whether we thought it was actually worth the money or not for the full experience. First up, when you arrive, it took us about 10 minutes to find parking, go through security, and get a golf cart over to our tent. This is what the safari tent looked like. It came with a fridge, air conditioning, towels, a dresser, desk, full body mirror, and our Coachella wristbands, which you can pick up at check-in. Next, this is what the bathrooms and showers look like. They gave you toothbrushes, sunscreen, makeup remover. They gave you basically any amenity that you needed. And this was one of the best parts, because after being out all day dancing in the 100-degree weather and covered in dust, we could come back and freshen up without waiting in lines. Next up was food. So we arrived at the tent on Thursday. When you check in, you get dinner, and they had an Aperol Spritz welcome party. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you get breakfast from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. and late night snacks from around 9:30 p.m. to 2 a.m., which were all incredible. We also got breakfast to go on Monday when we were leaving the campsites. Another thing that we loved is that in the safari camp, you can order your merch to avoid the lines inside of Coachella, and they'll deliver it to your tent for you. You can sign up for complimentary massages daily. You get complimentary ice. They fill up your pool with their hoses on site. You can even place grocery orders at the front desk if you want anything, and they'll pick it up for you. And then they even had hair and makeup pop-ups for a fee if you wanted to add on those services. Now let's talk about what it gets you at the actual festival. The safari tent gives you access to their golf cart service, which means that we could leave the safari camp anytime and they would drive us directly to the stage that we wanted to go. It saved us a lot of time and a lot of walking, and it helped a ton when it was really hot outside and we were exhausted. It also gave us guest wristbands, so we were able to have incredible viewing areas. This allowed us to show up to some sets and literally walk up to the rails without having to wait all day. The last thing I'll mention too is the difference between doing safari tents for weekend 1 and 2. Weekend 1 was a lot busier, a lot more influencers and celebrities, a lot more people that were a little high strung, lash out over the smallest things, because weekend 1 just had a different vibe. Last year we went to weekend 2 and it was a lot more chill. No one was in a rush. Everyone was there to have a good time. And it felt like the crowd had a lot more energy and actually enjoyed the artists instead of just wanting to capture photos all day. So if you want a more chill experience, I would do the tents on weekend 2, but you might not get as good of surprise guests. Overall, would we do safari again? Absolutely. It was expensive, but in our opinion, it was definitely worth it. It was about $3 to $4K per person when we split it up between the 4 of us, and we are so thankful that our jobs and businesses allow us to afford an experience like this. Considering VIP tickets alone are around $1,400, we thought this was totally worth it for everything that it included. Let us know in the comments. Do you think that this experience is worth it?
She made me laugh about, no, this is not daddy's money. Listen, I get why she had to put that statement out, because she'll get a lot of hate in the comments. But listen, if you're privileged or you come from a privileged background, it is what it is. Just like if you're poor, you obviously try and get out of that situation, innit? And if you are privileged, you try and keep that, generational wealth. You try and keep that privilege in your family. She's like, this is not daddy's money. We have multiple businesses. Shout out to y'all, innit? Listen, that's just like me and my ex, yeah. We want the best for our kids. He's got multiple businesses. I'm out here trying to do my own little thing. Listen, there's no shame in it. Like, there's no way when my daughters or kids get older, I'm going to be like, you've got to put a disclaimer about that. You're privileged and, your parents spoil you. But, no. Especially when you're black, you feel like you have to put out a statement. It's like, let's use the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They used to make Carlton feel bad, and it's just like, I'm not feeling bad because I'm not from the ghetto or because I'm not from the hood. So she just made me laugh with that little statement. But it looked good, but would I pay that price per night? She said 10K per night, right? Yeah. And that would be me obviously buying tickets from the UK to go to LA and then spend that, like, obviously she was doing a review to see if it was worth it. It's one of those, it's once in a lifetime. And recently I was saying to someone, have you ever traveled first class? And they were like, no, they also like to travel. And I was like, do it. I've done it before. I would do it again. Obviously, a lot of people see it as, what's the point? As long as you get to the destination, yeah. You have to do it to know the difference. So because I've done it, I would do it again. Like, it was worth it. It was a long ass flight. It was from Jamaica to London. I would do that again. Obviously, most trips I do, it's just like to Spain around I wouldn't do it for that because it's not long enough. But if I was going to like China, Australia, like the other side of the world, I would definitely do it. I feel like certain things, I get it, certain things are over the top or it's expensive. But you know what? You only live once. And trust me, some airlines, their first class is not all that. But listen, with a lot of them, it's worth it. Like, trust me, especially if you're going to be on a long ass flight. But yeah, I liked her review. I wouldn't do it personally. It's just too much money. But again, if I was to ever go to Coachella, I would go all out. But at the same time, that's a lot.
Yeah, why did nobody want to tell me that Coachella is set up like the 12 different districts from the Hunger Games? All day, my For You page has been nothing but people's Coachella outfits and where they are staying at Coachella. The amount of sections, subsections, pockets I have been exposed to of where people are deciding to lay their head at night at this music festival is insane. Almost dystopian. What do you mean some of us are sleeping in our car with no money, no food, no water? Literally nothing but the clothes on our backs and Instagram. While other people, like influencers, are sleeping in mansions or hotels or luxurious RVs, then you have non-rich influencers who are sleeping in these bougie tents that cost over $10,000 to buy. Is insane. My question to you all is, where are you guys getting your money from? We are borderline in a recession. 2 Coachella tickets cost over $1,000, which means the peasants and commoners who are sleeping on nothing but rocks and dirt most likely spent over $3,000, probably way more than that, to be at this festival. What are y'all's jobs? Because I would like to send in an application immediately. Also, last thing, I don't know why I thought Coachella tickets were cheaper than what they, like, someone who was a teenager in the 2010s, like 2015, 16, 17, Coachella was always like a dream goal that I had because, you know, it was cool. Like, a dream was always to go to Coachella. I don't know why. But dang, forget it now. Some of y'all are living rough. Y'all are living rough out there with the snakes and the demons and the monsters.
Oh my gosh, guys, did he not go in? He's so funny. Like, why did no one tell me? Exactly. If it's gonna be sort of like the Hunger Games, count me out. Like, hello? Like, what? This is what I mean. This year is literally a big competition. It's the rich versus the poor. He makes me laugh like people are struggling, you know, where they're gonna lay their heads at night, where they're gonna eat, where they're gonna go to the toilet, and all they've got is the clothes on their back and Instagram. Now, sir, if they don't know where they're sleeping, and you know your battery, when you go to these like festivals and stuff, like your battery always seems to go so quick, so that's why you need like a power bank. They've probably not even got Instagram, you know what I mean, barely, or you've got no signal because you're in the middle of the desert. But listen, his response was so funny. Listen, so the biggest festivals over here is Glastonbury and Creamsfield. And I feel like Park Life is up there, but not quite. It's not as, you know what I mean? It's only a weekend. It's only the Saturday and Sunday. But Creamsfield is like for 3 to 4 days, and so is Glastonbury. No, I can't do it the whole overnight. Park Life's not too far from me. That's just like the other side of Manchester, and the same with Creamfields. That's just on the outskirts of Manchester. Glastonbury is obviously down south, so that's further away. So if I was to go there, I would have to stay in a hotel. But with even with that, traveling off, you know what I mean, off the fields, it's just a lot. So people camp, and it's the same with Coachella. Some people, if they don't live too far, they do go back and forth. I'll roll the clip of the guy where he actually got in with security, and it's funny because I know someone that's done that, and then he tried to do it again and it didn't work. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I loved his response. It was so funny, and that's what I mean. This year, it just seems like a big competition.
I used to drive back and forth from LA to Coachella every single day just a couple years ago. And that's like 4 hours one way, 4 hours back, wake up in the morning and keep back, wake up in the morning and keep it going. And I did this sneaking in every single day. So I remember back like 2022, I wanted to go to Coachella so bad. So I thrifted like one of these security vests for like $2. And I got a car full of my friends and I'm like, look, I convinced everybody. If we make the 4-hour drive to Coachella, I promise we're gonna get in. And we're just like sitting down for a couple days, like strategizing, how are we gonna do this? We've never been to Coachella, what are we gonna run? So we had one of my big homies wear all black, wear the security vest, and then the rest of us just dress hella fly, bro. And we had him like walk us into the festival. And lo and behold, it worked, bro. He had the security vest, he's like, yo, I'm walking them in. And security's like, okay, man, sorry. And we got right in. And that was like day one, right? We got in. We were on such a high. At Friday, we're like, Coachella's the best thing ever. But we don't have a hotel. So we drove back home like at 2 a.m., right? We leave the festival like, I don't know, 10 p.m. Get back at 2. And I text back in the group chat. I'm like, yo, y'all down again in the morning? They're like, hell yeah, we're down again in the morning. So we wake up at 8 and we drive back to Coachella the next day. Get there at like, what, 12, 1 p.m.? We try the security guard method again, but this time they catch us. And they're like, no, security can't be escorting people in this time. And we're like, oh, like we're with the artist. And they're like, oh, where's your wristbands? We're like, oh, we're going to go get them. They're like, no, you got to leave. You got to leave. Security's like pushing us out right there on the phone. And we're like, damn, bro, like, what do we do now? So at this point, security is like calling us out, talking about us, yada, yada, yada. So we have to go all the way to the other side to a different entrance. And I find we're like, the food people and whatever, like, you know, they go in and out and they bring their supplies and whatever. Bro ditches the security jacket. We go in our regular fits and I'm like, don't look at nobody, just walk. If they ask us, say that we're with the food vendors. We walk in through like a little gate, nobody looks at us. We end up in the back where like the people are making food and stuff. Like the noodles are being flipped, the burgers are being grilled. And we walk right in, we go through like the grills and we end up in VIP. And then that day, we're on a high. And I'm like, bro, we got to come back day 3. So we get back home same night, or same thing, like 2 a.m. But the thing is, the friends that I'm with don't want to go that day. So I'm like texting everybody, boom, boom, boom. Do you want to go to Coachella tomorrow? Do you want to go to Coachella tomorrow? And I get one of my homies. He's like, bro, let's do it. So we leave again in the morning, bro. We get to Coachella. We're trying to sneak in. It's not working. It's not working. Security is super tight. So bro buys a VIP ticket for $100, scans it in, throws it over the fence. I go in. I throw it over the fence. The next person goes in. And we made it. But that's just how I got into Coachella with $100 a couple years ago. I feel like I can tell this story now because I'm never going to have to do that again. But if anybody needs it, get yourself a security vest at the thrift store.
Yeah, so you see what I mean? Like he said, one time he drove there and then the other time they drove out. But I love how he just got in like for free the first time with security. That's what I mean. When things are not organized properly, you find little loopholes and get away with stuff. Obviously, they got a bit, comfortable and they thought, let's try it again. And then this time, security was on point and it's like, no, no, no. And that's what happened one time with someone at Creams. The first time they got in nice and smoothly, and the next time they went, security was on their butt, so it wasn't as easy. But I loved his look. His hair was nice, and yeah, his response was funny.
Coachella's a lie, and I'm telling you this as an influencer that's gone to Coachella for the past 9 years in a row. Let me break down what Coachella is actually like. It's like the Hunger Games for thirsty influencers. Most of the influencers that go to Coachella don't even actually go to the festival. If they do go to Coachella, it's usually they go there to get photos and then they leave, or maybe get one story that's like, oh my god, Lady Gaga, I love you, and then they leave. That's it. And then it becomes this whole thing of what parties are you going to? I'm going to Revolve, I'm going to Neon Carnival. Well, did you get into Pooch? Are you going to 818? Well, I heard the Kardashians aren't even going to be there. Well, what if they show up? You're going to miss out. Oh my god, well, can you get me on the list? Nah, it's full. Okay guys, we can't go to the festival at all today. I gotta go to Celsius, then to Revolve, then to Pooch, then to 818, so I can try to get in a pizza slime. Make it make sense. Even if you wanted to see the headliners, you have to leave an hour before the show ends, or else you're gonna wait traffic and a line and whatever, and then you might not get in a Neon Carnival on time, and all that just to party with the same people that we party with in LA every single week. Look, at the end of the day, I love Coachella. I love the parties. I just see a lot of people posting FOMO posts, feeling bad that they can't be there, they didn't get on the list for something. All I'm saying is you only see the good moments.
Hey guys, sorry my mic ran out of battery, and I'm glad that I noticed when I did because I was still talking and I would have hated to record and then, you couldn't hear me. Some people, even over here with Park Life, one girl I used to work with, as soon as she would go, she would buy her tickets. Like, she doesn't even know the lineup, but she just literally for years, she just constantly went to Park Life. And it's like, just the thought of it is so draining. Like, huh? But I get it. And she wasn't even an influencer. She just loved Park Life. But him being, obviously, I get it. If that's how he makes his money, he's an influencer. But 9 years in a row, jeez. But I agree with him, even though I've never been. I bet it is like that. It's the influencer version of. Guys, I hope you can hear me nice and clearly. My battery ran out on my mic, so here I am. Not me waffling away, and I just looked and it's like, oh my gosh, it's beeping red. But yeah, like I was saying, not him comparing, influences like to the Hunger Games. And I can imagine, and he made me laugh when people are like, oh, just a quick selfie with Lady Gaga in the background, and then peace, I'm out. What he touched on is, well, the Neon Carnival party and, all the after parties and restaurants. Obviously, people are trying to rub shoulders and get as close as, the Jenners, the Kardashians, all those people in the hierarchy. And it's just, yeah, I believe it. It's just funny. It's just all fake, isn't it? It's just like this whole thing with China exposing the luxury brands. If you don't know, I did a video on that yesterday. Please do check it out. But again, for me, it's just stunting. Again, I blame Instagram, like, this whole luxury and trying to live that high life when really you're not about it, or you're spending your hard-earned money just in one night or in 1 week. And it's just like, what about the rest of the month? You know what I mean? Again, it's your money. You worked hard for it. Do what you want to do. But is it really worth it just to have that perfect selfie and that perfect snap and, the outfits and everything? Did you have a good time? How about that? Like, you know what I mean? People go and they're like, it's not as good as it looks. And I know so many people that have gone places, gone to France, everyone wants that perfect picture next to the Eiffel Tower. And they'll come back and they're like, no, France was dirty, it stank, the people were rude, the food's not all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree and I believe everything he said.
I've fallen into a hole of fucking Coachella, tent and campsite tours, and the contrast between Coachella and UK festivals honestly kills me. Look at this. This someone's kitchen and meal prep area because you're going to be having loads of meals. And this is someone's fucking living area. A couch. Mind you, this is what my campsite looked like on my first festival. We somehow managed to fit 8 people in a 4-man tent, which, number one, I just don't know why the hell we done that. Number two, it was a reggae festival. Why was the campsite like that?
Listen, I know that tent that you put up, that is so British. Like, look at the American version and look at the British. It is so funny. And then people have been doing like comparison, and even the crowd, when Missy Elliott came out, when I say the crowd was dead, the crowd was dead. And even Tyler, the Creator, when he performed years ago, he had to shout at the crowd like, yo, fix up, because it was just not giving. And that's what I mean. People go there, but they're not there to see the artist. They're there to just stunt on the gram. I'm like, yeah, I was at Coachella. You know what I mean? A lot of people even get off, let's just say, they usually save the main act for the end, like they do that at Park Life. Most of the time, a lot of people get off by then, or they literally just try and get that perfect selfie and video, and then they get off, because obviously there's a lot of after parties and things to do, and obviously people need to as well. But yeah, the comparison, like, again, with the UK, we have bad weather, people have wellies and things like that, and our tents be getting blown over because of those strong winds, and it just looks a hot mess. And when you compare it how in LA you've got AC, you've got tables, blow up sofas, and it's just like not my little tent compared to, you know. Well, I loved his response. It was so funny.
What's it like to go to Coachella as a normal non-influencer? That's what I did in 2022, and I'm going to tell you exactly what my weekend was like. Firstly, I'd like to say that it is definitely a bucket list moment. It was surreal, it was amazing, we had a great time, but it is absolutely not as glamorous as all of these influencers make it out to be. Unless you're in VIP, the experience is pretty humbling. This is what I wore in day one. Cowboy boots, cute outfit, loved it. And because I'd seen a lot of other people going in like uncomfortable outfits, I thought, yeah, I'll be fine. Little did I know that as soon as you get to the festival, you have to walk for about an hour through the desert just to get into Coachella, and everyone had masks on because you just inhale so much like dirt. TMI, but I was blowing my nose and spitting up black stuff for like a week afterwards. And despite the taxi journey from our Airbnb to the festival taking like way over an hour for a 10-minute journey, we then had to trek in the blazing heat through the desert. And this is my own fault, of course, but these boots were so uncomfortable. I ended up with 16 blisters. But yeah, getting into the festival was probably one of the biggest obstacles, and something we definitely didn't expect to be so difficult. Trigger warning if you don't like feet, but this was my feet at the end of day one. Look at all those blister plasters, are awful. So I basically had to wear Crocs for the rest of my time there. I had to go and buy a pair of Crocs that were like 2 sizes too big just to fit on my plasters, and I wore Crocs to Coachella on day 2 and 3. This is how dirty they were, lol. So don't believe the influencers when you see them in these perfect outfits. Just know by the end of the day, they are going to be covered in dust and dirt and everything. Not to mention it does get absolutely freezing by the evening, so I ended up buying a blanket and then taking that with me just for the evening. Like, completely covered up the cute outfit. I did get to see Harry Styles and Lizzo though, so feeling pretty smug about that. But yes, that was my experience of getting into the festival every day. The actual festival itself, once you're in there, is really cool. Like, it's definitely very dusty, but it is really cool. But we had an even worse experience trying to get home from the festival, so let me know if you want a part 2 for that.
See, I liked her response because she's like, going to Coachella as a non-influencer, so you know everything she said's gonna be, well, hopefully truthful. But yikes, first of all, with her outfit, not her thinking she could be like cute and cash, and then that walk, and this is what I'm saying, even with Park Life, I can't take the queuing and the walking. I hate the queues at Park Life to get in. When I went to London Carnival, it was hard to find parking because obviously you want to get as close as possible. I can't. That's what puts me off these things. And when it's home time, you have to leave early because you're going to be stuck in a traffic jam. But yeah, her feet, like, she ended up, you know, obviously having to buy Crocs. And she's like, there were 2 sizes too big. Oh my gosh, when they say these boots are made for walking, her boots were not made for walking. Yikes, this is what I'm saying, like, I can't get over the hour walk. Like, by the time you reach your destination, you don't even want to see the artist. You're hungry, you're going to need the toilet, because doing that walk, you're going to obviously be thirsty, so you're going to be drinking. So, like, she had a good time, but she's just like never again. Like, it's not as what it seems, it's not worth it. Don't let these Instagram photos fool y'all. Would I still go if I had the opportunity? Yeah, but as an influencer, like, I don't think I would pay my good hard-earned money and go over there. Like, even my friends, my good close friends, they wanted to do a trip to America. They wanted to go to Miami and New York. So I'll probably do little trips like that first and, you know, build myself up. But yeah, Coachella. And it depends on the act, because I'm actually, like, I want to see who's performing. Like, recently I bought tickets to see Chris Breezy. Can't wait. I'm going for my birthday, and Bryson Tiller's going to be there. So I love deals like that. I love concerts like that. I know recently Missy Elliott, Sierra and Busta Rhymes, they did a tour in America. If they was to come to the UK, I would be down for that tour. You know what I mean? I definitely like to get my money's worth where there's other acts performing and at the event. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you go to Coachella this year, or have you ever been, or even festivals, and what was your experience like? Please like, comment, subscribe and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.